The wisdom wheel is about making our way back to Eden, making our way back to the garden. We're the only people on the planet to have ever been kicked out of Eden. No one else was kicked out of the garden. The Aborigines weren't, the Sub-Saharan Africans, the Buddhists, the Native Americans were given the garden to be the stewards and the caretakers of Eden, not to loot it and pillage it like we have in the West. We need to make our way back to Eden, back to that place that we were never haunted by death, where we could speak to the rivers and to the trees and to the clouds and to the animals and to God. And the rivers and the trees and God would speak back to us. A river will never lie to you. We need to make our way back to Eden today. The wisdom wheel is an advanced tool of the shamans. The early wheel that we learn is the healing wheel, the medicine wheel, how to heal our wounds, how to shed the past the way the serpent sheds her skin, how to not be in the grip of death. The wisdom wheel is the advanced wheel. It's making your way back to the garden, finding that serpent that is coiled around the tree of knowledge and bowing to it and thanking her, for she is the guardian of that tree, and her job is to share that fruit with you so that we can learn the deep truths of life, so that we can begin to practice truth in an absolutely ruthless and full of integrity way, with compassion, of course. And as the shaman practices truth, eventually everything she says becomes so. And this is how shamans dream the world into being. They see healing and healing happens. They see beauty and beauty replaces the ugliness. They see peace and they see love, and peace and love manifest themselves. The wisdom wheel is a manual of the co-creators. It's a manual of the medicine men and women who have said yes to the path of wisdom of the shaman, of stewardship of the earth, so that the earth now can teach us those deep lessons that are in the promise of our DNA, that are promised to each and every one of us to become a new species of human that is being born on the planet today. See, during ordinary evolution, the earth brings about change gradually. Nature loves to take gradual, small steps that follow the laws of Newtonian physics. But during times of climate crisis like we're living in today, and if possible extinction events, nature loves to take quantum leaps. The mother loves to take her foot off of the brake and step on the accelerator, so that evolution no longer happens in between generations, but rather within generations. Not any longer about our children and grandchildren, that too, but about you and I. We can unfold the traits and the qualities and the wisdom and the intelligence that will allow us to grow a new body that ages and heals differently and that perhaps never dies, that will allow us to taste infinity, that will allow us to break free of the limitations of space and time. This is the promise of the new human, and to do that, we can reach back into the beginning of time to an ancient wisdom that was handed to the shamans, to the medicine men and women, to become the guardians and the stewards of this wisdom and to release it to humanity when the time is right. The time is now. The wisdom wheel tells us not to confuse our job for our work, that we have work that we came here to do. We have meaning and purpose, that we came here to serve a sacred dream. The wisdom wheel teaches you that you're not your genetics, you're not your genes, you're your dreams. And with your dreams, you can modify your genetic expression to become disease-proof, to learn how to create extraordinary health and take it with you to the end of your days. Your vitality, your sexuality, your enthusiasm, your curiosity. The wisdom wheel teaches you that the future is informing us all the time. But to do that, you need to step into the higher brain. You need to break free of the lower brain and the dictatorship of fear and the emotions and step into the higher brain that is broken free from the arrow of time. where we can be informed by who we are becoming 10,000 years from today, and not only by who we were yesterday and the day before yesterday and the genes of our parents and grandparents. Allow yourself to be informed by the future and not just be a prisoner of the past. And the wisdom wheel invites you to master a set of natural instincts that we have that are in seed form. They are the superpowers of humanity. The sage Patanjali that wrote the Yoga Sutras spoke about them 2,000 years ago. The gifts of invisibility, of seeing events at a distance, of being able to nudge destiny and dream the world into being, and live as if the universe were conspiring on your behalf, which it is. Come and join me in taking this leap and exploring the potential of what it is to be human here on Earth.